This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1842. How do I break up without hurting him? By Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday to you. I'm your host, Greg Audino, welcoming you back from the weekend, ready to hit the ground running this week. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, today's post comes from Evan Marc Katz, in which he answers a very relatable question from one of his listeners, a question about how to break up without hurting our partners. I know this is something I used to have a very hard time with myself, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. So let's see what he has to say about having an honest and respectful breakup as we optimize your life. How do I break up without hurting him? By Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com. Hi, Evan. I did a search on why men fall in love with me so quickly to try to figure out what I'm doing wrong. I found that the question was based on the fact that the girl was very attractive. Well, it happens to me all the time, and I'm not that attractive. I've been told that I'm beautiful and sexy, but I think I'm just an average girl. Anyway, men, even on the internet, fall in love with me. I know I'm a pleaser. My mother was narcissistic. I'm working on all that. Recently single, 10 months, I vowed that I was going to spend time on my own. I thought I could maybe date and have fun. But this isn't the case. I'm kind and tend to be very complimentary. But I've been paying close attention to what I say. I compliment women the same way. Women tend to appreciate it. Men fall in love with me. It's difficult for me not to look for the good in people and tell them about it. I rarely tell anyone the bad about themselves. I don't see the point in hurting people that way. Most people know their problems and don't need their noses rubbed in it. Not too many people see their good points. I know this because I'm like that. I see all the negatives in myself. Anyway, I have difficulty with hurting people, and when they hurt, I hurt too. So breaking up with a guy is a long and painful process. I have to find the nerve, and when I do, it's so gentle that he's confused about what I'm trying to say. I recently broke up with a very nice man. There was no spark, and I really, truly wanted to remain friends. But he says he loves me and now can't eat or sleep. My girlfriend says that he's using sympathy to try to change my mind. You have no idea how often I cry when I hear his messages. I finally told him that I didn't feel a spark at the beginning. He said to give it a bit more time. I relented, but still no spark. I just feel like I make a mess of things. We only dated for a couple of months. My ex, who I was with for 10 years, same thing. I know if I called him right now, he'd take me back. I'm very interested in your opinion. Thank you. Sue. Dear Sue, thousands of women have just read your letter with their jaws dropped. Too many men fall in love with her and she's just an average girl? I don't understand. The only men I get are arrogant, selfish, commitment-phobic jerks. Where does she live? Where can I find those nice relationship-oriented men? They're right in your hometown, I promise. The difference is that Sue is a master at making men feel good, which is the central premise of why he disappeared. As I've previously stated, men are about feelings more than looks, and if we don't feel good with you, we're not sticking around. So if you're reading this and you wish you could have Sue's problem of too many men who fall for her, guess what? You can. Just listen to how Sue does it. Quote, I rarely tell anyone the bad about themselves. I don't see the point in hurting people that way. Most people know their problems and don't need their noses rubbed in it. Not too many people see their good points. End quote. Compliment. Don't criticize. It's as simple as that. However, there is one point with which I happen to disagree with Sue. I think most people focus only on their good qualities and blind themselves to their bad qualities, which is why so many singles hold out for the perfect mate without realizing how much someone would have to compromise to be with them. But that's not what your letter is about, Sue, so let me get back on track. As I see it, your problem is twofold and very easy to solve. First of all, you're telling yourself that you're hurting a man by breaking up with him. Did it ever occur to you that you're hurting him a lot worse by not breaking up with him? Did it occur to you that by trying to avoid your personal pain of cutting him off, you're actually causing him more personal pain? I'm sure you're the nicest person in the world, Sue, but holding on to a dead relationship way past its expiration date is actually a selfish act. It benefits you more than it benefits him. When I was single, if there was one thing I did well, it was breaking up. My philosophy has always been that every second I'm spending with the wrong woman is a second I'm not looking for the right woman. As such, I would break most relationships off after 1 to 3 months. You stayed with a guy for 10 years just to be nice? Breaking up isn't nearly as complicated as you're making it, Sue. You sit him down, you tell him that you care about him, but you don't think you have what it takes to make it in the long run. You let him vent, and you leave. It's a sad, awkward conversation. I have been on both ends. But then it's done. None of this, I'm being so gentle that he doesn't know I'm breaking up with him stuff. To sum up, A, breaking up is like gravity, swift and without explanation. The second you're positive it's not right is the second you should do it. You're selfish if you let a man fall deeply for you when you know you're going to eventually break his heart. B, the way to make a man fall in love with you is to adore him and shut up about the things you don't like. It doesn't do either party any good to offer unsolicited and unwanted criticism. C, chasing a spark is often a losing strategy, but that's another conversation for another day. Thanks for teaching us a few important lessons, Sue. You just listened to the post titled, "How Do I Break Up Without Hurting Him?" by Evan Marc Katz of evanmarckatz.com.
Between the kids being home and hosting, everything in our house gets used up in summer. With Instacart, I can save money by stocking up on all my favorite summer brands. I save time by getting everything delivered in as fast as an hour. And I save myself a sink full of dirty dishes by stocking up on paper plates for the annual summer cookout. Save more on summer essentials? Spend more time enjoying summer. Add summer to cart. Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
What's up? It's Kaylee Cuoco. When it comes to travel, we all have a happy place. I just went to my happy place. I just went to Maui, and it was truly amazing. Priceline has always been about getting you to your happy place for a happy price with deals you really can't find anywhere else. Like up to 60% off select hotels in Costa Rica or 5-star hotels for 2-star prices in Cabo.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
And thank you to Evan for an illuminating answer to an age-old question. If you find yourself having a hard time breaking up with someone, I think that Evan's words of wisdom can be paired really nicely with some self-reflection. Breaking up is rarely easy, but for those who have a particular ongoing struggle with it, don't be afraid to dig deep and try to get a sense of where this is coming from. You heard Sue briefly touch on her people-pleasing tendencies and a strained relationship with her mother. These are likely significant roots of her problem that I would bet a lot of money manifests in many areas of life, preventing her from letting others down and putting herself first. It's not terribly complicated or unexpected, but this is a key example of how doing the right self-work and connecting the dots on seemingly unrelated issues can vastly improve our relationships with others, which often we unfortunately and misguidedly rely on to keep ourselves together. It has to be the other way around. It has to be. So, thank you once more to Evan for letting us share, and thanks to all of you for listening through the end and doing right by your relationships today. I hope you're feeling ready for your week, and we'll be here with you. So come on back for another inspiring post tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.